Hey everybody, and welcome back. We are here for the semifinal match against BossBlades. We finally broke the beginner's curse where every time in a Mythic League tournament, and this is Mythic League number 3, I just got knocked out in the first round. So we've made it to the semifinals. We're going up against BossBlade with his really cool Sarah list. You can see it here. Very similar to a Sarah list that I ran, and some really cool sideboard tech with Attack Yak, Moreland Han, and just more ways to kind of, I think, even like go over the top of their opponent, Champion's Grip, and some other really interesting cards. Our sideboard here is this is the easiest way to show it. Our sideboard here is not too complicated. Just 2 Treetop Lookout, just can be very useful in a tournament setting, right? Get rid of those traps. We've got Pixie, Trickster for certain matchups, and Lava Wave as well for certain matchups. But I have kept Bob waiting doing this intro, so let's just get into it. I think we've got code blue here for our first game. All right, and here we are. Blade of Steel versus LongTIm, both in Clan MTG SS. Same with Tino, who's in the finals. So just a good old sort of clan matchup. Okay, so we've got some early game stuff to do, but the main thing we need to be thinking about is the long game. So I don't mind the 2-3 here. I don't think Grudge match is going to be terribly important for us to keep in the early game. But we've got some stuff to do. It's not going to be easy to pressure Sarah early. We're both going to be gaining life and sustaining. And really what we're trying to do is just set up our ability to close out the game with Strahd and Hasten for the 1-turn kill. Nothing for turn 1. Unfortunate that we're not on the draw because we're always advantaged as a Nissa for doing that. Interesting. Ran out the wolf immediately. So I've got a choice here. I can go Rampant Growth into Agitator to just ramp very quickly, or I can go Tusker. But I think my inclination is just to start rolling with our mana advantage, because that's going to be really important for us getting over the top of Blade of Steel. But they've got 2 sweepers and Double Day of Judgment. They've got Icing Death. There's definitely plenty that they can deal with our board state on. So it's really just going to be about when we can land those haste threats and really start to pull ahead. So here I think it's a pretty easy Shepherd. We're going to get to insta-flip. I'm actually going to hold the Birds of Paradise because Sarah has pretty good card advantage, and that is one way we're kind of beat until we get our primal summonings. And holding the Birds of Paradise, I can hold that for my Joraga Druid when I draw it, and then be able to, draw an extra card off of the mana from the Birds of Paradise. Here, I think I'm just going to trade for Wolf. Not really going to get that much better. Healer, yep. Got their early game plan rolling pretty well. I think here I'm actually going to hold on to these Rangers because we can just play our 2 sort of 4-power creatures here and hold on to the Rangers for any like flyers that we really need to deal with, which obviously Sarah has access to. So yeah, off Shrine of Valor, when they pop that for next turn, that's a good opportunity for us to use our Daybreak Ranger. And here we're gonna get to live the dream a bit and get our Joraga Druid draw off. And nice, we hit Primal Summoning. It's excellent. So yeah, we could just chip in here. No great blocks for our opponent, so just a really fine attack for us. And now we're really going to start thinking about not committing too much more to the board, because in a couple turns we're likely going to see, some sort of sweeper. All right, they missed on their 5th land. That's actually pretty helpful for us, I would say. You really don't like to see your life gain land go off in the early turns, especially when you're playing a matchup like this. You just much rather have the mana up front to curve out and stay on pace with what your opponent's doing. We've had a pretty nice draw here. Sanguine Blood. Okay, that I didn't realize was in the build. That's an interesting one. So, you know, that's one we definitely have to watch out for. Here, I think the play is just going to be attack with these two. We'll trade for one of the two powers, and then they might block here, and then we can play the Daybreak Ranger and eat the Angel and keep our pressure going. Yep. Then probably blocking with the 2/3 on the 4/2. No, interesting. Okay. I don't think there's really any point in me holding this. I think we could just continue to pressure. So I'm sure we're going to see a Day of Judgment coming out if they have it. But if they don't, and they have to commit, you know, Blade has to commit more to the board, we're in decent shape to just kind of beat down. And it's just really nice that we've got the Primal Summoning. The magic number is 11, and that's because Primal Summoning will allow us to play our Strahd for 0 mana, so it costs 9 mana essentially to play, and then 2 mana for our Hasten. So you really don't want to pop Primal Summoning in this deck before 11 mana, unless you like really, really need to. Okay, so if you're playing Sun Titan, this signals to me you're not terribly interested in you know, wrathing the board. But we also have an open window to maybe just win the game here. So I think we're going to do that first and see what we hit. There's the Hasten. No Strahd. So now the question is, how do we want to play this out? It's probably going to be playing our Primeval Titan. But I'm happy to chip in here. I don't know that I want to trade off our Wolf. I'm not super enthusiastic about that. I think this is a fine attack. They get one, you know, they get 2 decent blocks, but we can get our Primeval Titan going. We can draw extra cards here. Because now we've got the Hasten, so we can really do our best to set up. Okay, so no block here. Very interesting. I think I'm just going to take my card here. If they have Wrath, they have Wrath. But I think I want to try and draw another card here. See if we can hit Strahd and see what happens. Still have plenty of gas in the tank, so Day of Judgment isn't that scary. There's also a chance he was trying to play it a little slower. The block makes me think they have Day of Judgment, but yeah. I think I'm just happy to trade here. Don't really want them drawing free cards. If they Day of Judgment, again, it's another window for us to pressure. Okay, no Day of Judgment. Got it. No DOJ. So how many cards do we have in hand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So Primal Summoning is going to overdraw us. So now the question becomes, like, how much do we want to commit to the board? So I think let's probably just go... Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be the trap that, you know, destroys a creature with the highest power. So I think I'm fine to just swing like this. I mean, they can block here, and I think does boss have? Oh, they do have Pinpoint Avenger, so that's not a great attack here. Oh yeah, I'll attack here. Yep, there's the Immolating Glare. That's good. We definitely want to get that out of boss's hand for sure. And I think here it's just fine to, you know, throw in maybe a Channeler. It doesn't really accomplish a whole lot though. But I think it's fine to just continue to sort of pressure. Man, we've had two like decent windows to try and go for the win, but now it's really just about like we should pressure enough to make them Wrath because that will take up most of his mana. And then as we get deeper into our deck, just hopefully we'll Primal Summoning. Okay, this attack I would say indicates a Day of Judgment. So I think we'll just make you know, reasonable blocks here. I mean, I'm pretty happy if they do. That gives us the window. Oh, it's Icing Death. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. No, I don't have a terribly good answer for that. Sorry if you hear my cat in the background. She's... Oh, it's because the door is closed. All right, I might have to open that. How do we want to play this? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I mean, there's no real sense in doing this. Here I can trade this off to try and kill the Icing Death, but I'm sure Blade doesn't bite here. Yeah. Smart man. I think now is probably as good a time as any to just drop Crush of Wombs. And again, try and just pressure our opponent. Once we start seeing the Second Sons, this is going to get a little scary. But, okay. But, for now, sure. Taking 6. Alrighty. Alright, well, Scion's not a bad one. I mean, that's something pretty threatening, unless they have whatchamacallit. So, yeah, happy to just attack here. Okay. Just taking the full damage. I mean, in that case, I think I just slam Scion. Maybe make you Wrath. Or they might have the trap, but either way, I think I prefer that. This goes to 9. 10 mana. Oh, and there it is. Wow. Had the Strahd to knock us to 10 and deal exactly 10. Well played. I wasn't really tracking that, to be honest. I should have considered that a bit more and played one of our reach creatures. Because the block, I was like, okay, you want to race me and you think you can. I don't think I really thought about that. So, not great from myself here. But the board does make this matchup a little bit easier. We're just going to side in our Treetop Lookouts. That's really all we kind of need. So, and we're just going to side out Channeler of Might, because 3/3s for 1 don't really do anything in this matchup. Day of Judgment I like, though, just because there are plenty of things that kind of can dodge Lava Wave. So, all right, we're back for round 2. Got pretty messed up by Strahd that first round. So here we go. Okay, and here we see the change in land to Moorland Hod, which just gives Blade a lot more card advantage. But I'm liking what we're seeing here. I mean, we don't have to worry too much about pressuring early, and having Primal Summoning is really, really important. So honestly, I think I'm just going to keep what we've got here. I like Daybreak Ranger as well, just as a way to interact with the board. And we're on the draw, which is excellent, because getting the extra mana is just another way of us getting a little bit more ahead. So we will see what Bob's got going on. Good old early Watchwolf. There's basically no reason to play Treetop Lookout. We really want to save them. So we're just going to sit here. It would have been great for us to have Rampant Growth that turn, but never lucky. Okay, there's another Ranger. I mean, we're just going to play Ranger next turn. We can take another 3 here. Yep. All good. See if Bob adds anything to the board. Nope. Okay. Well, I think I'm a little more interested. Let me just go back to Bob's sideboard. So, right. So, I would imagine, so it's Attack Yak, Moorland Haunt, probably at least one of the Champions Grits, maybe Alarm Bell. What would you sign out, though? Honestly, I would think something like maybe Watchwolf or Pinpoint Avenger, something in that realm. But I guess we'll see. Here, I think I kind of just want to play this and flip. Just ramp. Also, Bob's not really playing anything. You know, obviously kind of just holding on to some resources. Here I'm happy to block. Trading the 5-1 for the 3-4 is, I think, totally fine. Okay. That's fine. Okay. Interesting. Alright, well. We've got part of the combo. Obviously pretty good. So here we could just go Primeval Titan. I think that's probably going to be the play. Like, we could play Daybreak Ranger here, but I don't really like that. Here we essentially like break even on mana, and then next turn when we swing, we'll be up a little bit more. So, Moorland Haunts. That is pretty unlucky. No cards in the graveyard. Alright, we see our first Attack Yak. And we're going to try and keep this out of the graveyard for as long as possible. Because it's just going to keep getting bigger. Thing is, if we swing here, it's like a reasonable block, but I don't think we're not going to swing here. Just want to get our mana. 11 is kind of our lucky number here. And then obviously we can factor in Treetop Lookout if that is also the case. There's the Champion's Grit. Okay. Fair enough, my friend. It's Rampant Growth. Just keep pumping up our mana. And here, I'll just play the Daybreak out. So... Oh, and Moorland Haunt triggered. I'm hoping it's the Watchwolf. But either way, it's going to be a little bit of a headache. But the fact that Blade is on 5 mana, we're going to be on 13 next turn, it is going to be a problem. Okay, so we can go for it here. Because we got 13 mana. So let's go for it. No Strahd. Sad. That is fine. I think we just go to attacks here. Immolating Glare. Okay, that's 1 down. And I guess in terms of mana efficiency, we can go Druid, and then we can go Agitator, flip, draw 2 cards. Okay. Alright. We've got our other Primal Summoning this next turn. It was Watchwolf. Okay, that's really good for us. Pretty happy about that. Okay. Don't hate the Grudge match. How do we want to play this? So if we've got 15, yeah, so we have enough, but thing is we need to, we're not going to be able to draw 4 because we have too many cards in our hand. So I think we just want to play this turn out somewhat efficiently, and I think that's... do we need the Grudge match? I don't think so. Yeah, I think we just hit like this. And then we'll add some stuff to the board. Okay. Yeah, smart to keep the flyer around. It's definitely not a bad idea. Could go for Scion here. It's the big ol' Scion. I don't hate that. But I also don't love it if it's going to be Wrath into that. So I think... let's do this. And... I think that's going to be it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Helps them ramp. Get the angel. Okay, Primeval Titans. Definitely a reasonable draw. But how do we want to play this? We'll get to draw cards off of Primeval Titans, so that's definitely what we're going to do. I guess let's just do this first. See what we hit. Okay. Good opportunity to take out the flyer. Pretty good. Pretty good. Well, we don't have two ways to interact with the board here. So, how do we want to play this? I mean, I think we just let Wrath to give us the best chance next turn. Yeah, so let's get our mana. Champion's Grid. The other move we could go with is a giant Scion. Which isn't bad. But I think I'd rather do this. can crush worms. So it's probably going to be pretty tempting for them to Day of Judgment us. And then we have enough mana to do everything next turn. Oh, okay. A fair play, my friend. I was like, let me just count. Let me just make sure. Nice. All right. Very nice. Man, my heart is going a mile a minute because I do care about these games. I definitely want to advance, and they're really tough. Bob is an excellent player, and like, oh, it's hard to know what are some of the right lines. But I think we played that pretty well to set up Strahd there. Or set up a worm turn, which can be really, really hard for them to deal with. All right. Round 3. My goodness. These games are like, there's so much happening in the planning of these lines and how they play out. Oh, we're on the draw again. Thank you, thank you. Okay, I mean, I'm happy to keep these. The grudge match actually does come in handy. Like, even being able to grudge match their own Strahd. So I actually do like this in the opener, but we don't need... I don't think we really need these other ones. Gatstaf does... It just allows us to go over the top, though. So actually, I'll keep the double Gatstaf. That's probably correct. Because the magic numbers are basically going to be 13 and 15 with Treetop lookout. It's just going to be really hard for Bob to be able to plan for all of that when we're able to get that kind of mana advantage. And we got the primal summoning. Really great that we have that. Watch Wolf? No. Alarm Bell. Okay. Well, we could see, you know, more of a scary sort of yak strategy. Who knows? Okay. Watch Wolf. Wonder if we've got Champion's Grid here. Nope. Well, that is fine. It's always sketchy to do this without backup, but I'm going to hope that we can get it off. Because drawing the extra cards, obviously, is going to give us a higher chance of hitting the combo. So... Okay, probably Disciple plus Yak, or Disciple plus Watch Wolf here. Because they got 2 off the Alarm Bell. Nope. Well, Yak, this really is pretty scary. So we are going to have to watch out for that. Okay, Hermit. Alright, get our mana. And we're not going to attack. I'm going to take this Yak for... Basically take the damage for as long as... I possibly can. I do not want to give Blade chances of getting Yak from Moorland Haunt. Just not what we're looking for. Alright, I mean, we've got a lot of ways to draw cards here. So that's not too bad. I think it's probably safe to block here. But I'm definitely going to take 2. Another Disciple. Alright, well, I mean, it's kind of like when you play against Teferi and uses Teferi's staff, and you're like, well, they could have a lot of different angels that could impact this game, but I can't really play around anything because there's just no way to know. So, Behemoth is interesting. We can go Primeval next turn, so yeah, I think... Drop another Gatstaf. Keep drawing some cards. Okay, we could go double Druid. And really try and hit what we need. But that can sometimes get a little out of hand, honestly. I'm not super in love with that, but I'll just play the birds here. Draw our card. And then who knows? Maybe we'll go for a Crater Hoof turn next turn. Get to draw another card here. Okay. Hand is getting full. Okay. Block here. Just gonna take 4. Getting the Watch Wolf in the yard gives us a chance of him whiffing, basically. So that's fine. Suntain. Okay. Fair enough. Okay, well, I mean, Crater Hoof is gonna do a ton of work here. We would go down mana gems though. Part of me just wants to play Titan. Could also just play Hermit too. Alright, let's see what we draw. Okay, there's the Hasten. Alright, I'm going to attack here. I don't know that I would normally do this, but I want time to think about if I want to play a card here. Okay, that's pretty good. Because I don't want to deck myself. I have to be really... Well, I don't want to discard a card because I have too many cards in hand. So, we do have to use some of our mana gems. So I guess the play is Hermit. Don't love that. But we'll get the mana on the backswing with Primeval Titan. I'm probably just going to block with the sheep here. And who knows? Maybe I'm just going to Crater Hoof next turn. Could honestly just take the 7, but yeah, let's just block. I think that is totally fine. Also, this means if he plays Icing Death, it's going to hit Sun Titan, which is like not bad. Lots of things to think about here. Mercy. Yep. Seems decent. Alright. I think Crater Hoof looks pretty good. So let's do that. Draw another card. Okay. Immolating Glare. Alright. Got one of them out. There's the Yak blocking. That makes sense. Hmm. 7, 8, 9, 10. So we are going to mill next turn. Actually, might have been the correct play to just attack. This is really tough. I mean, I guess I'm playing Treetop Lookout if I don't want to mill. I mean, we have the second one, so... Yeah, I guess that's correct. It's a weird game because we're drawing so many cards, but we kind of have to. Oh, that's pretty annoying. Well, dang. I'll take 7. It's fine. Definitely getting pretty sketchy here. Scion's fine. So I could play Scion to replace something. Doesn't really accomplish a whole lot. I don't really want to replace my flyer either. Very interesting. And I want to save my Grudge matches, so what do we want to do? I want to avoid milling. That's what I want to do. So I guess the answer is this. Not bad. It's a cool interaction. I'm going to trade with the flyer here. I can take 11. Not my favorite, but I think we'll be okay. All right, well. Let's gain some life. Play Strahd, this is 7. So we're not dead. And then we've got plenty of stuff to do on the backswing. I don't think there's a way for us to die here. It would have to be like stunning multiple things. I mean, I guess if Bob has it, he has it. But I think I just need to play to probably just Treetop looking out next turn. Maybe not. We might be able to bait it out. We should be fine. 7. Yeah. Not much I can do about that, so we will take 7. Sarah's Judgment, yeah. That's a good one. Okay, what are you healing for here? Whew. Yeah. Well, this might be it, folks. I don't really know that we have... Okay, well. That's also pretty good. We're going to 7. So we have a couple questions. We could try and go for the win now with Primal Summoning. Try and hit off it, or we just swing Day of Judgment and refill. And then if they hit second sun, they do. But so if I Primal Summon at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we're gonna draw 2 cards. I mean, that's like nothing. So yeah, I think we just attack here. He's gonna know what's up, and probably just make the blocks that save him the most life. Makes sense. Let me go pew pew pew. Give ourselves a little bit of time. And Primeval Titan, because this also puts us to 8 so we don't die to Sanguine, hopefully. It's not a good position to be in. I really like Bob's spells. This feels like a really, really good way to attack this matchup. Got a couple ways of actually closing the game out. Sanguine Bond's always been kind of a cool card for like a slower meta because of Second Sun, and sometimes you can heal off the other angels too. So let's see what Bob's retort is here. 2 flyers is good. It is pretty hard for me to punch through. Shrine of Valor, holding up Immolating Glare, presumably. Okay. 8 cards left on the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cards in our hand. We can go down quite a bit. I mean, I think we're going to have to grudge match here. Just get some cards out of our hands and just use those optimally. The question is, do I want to play Joraga Druid? And see if we can hit. Instead of Primal Summoning. Because Primal Summoning makes all of those things. It makes everything 1 cheaper, but I think this is tough because this is going to eat an Immolating Glare most likely. Okay. He does not have it. All right. It's pretty important information. And then it's good. We can dump our hand out because we really need to, while also pressuring. Alright, well. No! Stop rocking boiling hot. It's a tough one. Okay, well, just the Icing Death. Not too many ways I can play around that. Yeah, so now we really need our Day of Judgment, actually. Okay. They have 4 flyers. We've only got answers for 2. We have 5 cards on our deck. So. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Primal Summoning. We go down to 6. We drop to 10. Hopefully we hit our Day of Judgment. That's got to be it. Day of Judgment is the last card. Okay, I have to attack here to try and give myself more time. Alright, so what we can do is you pick off there. You got 2 blockers. Should be okay. Yeah, there's no way to use Grudge Match properly here. Alright, this is tough. No. Oh, Bobbert. Got me in a bit of a pickle here, my man. Is that it? Wow. Oh, man. Well played, dude. The Day of Judgment was the last card in our deck. Wow. Oh, I could have run out Strahd there, but then we just 100% lose to their Day of Judgment. And I was like, okay, I mean, maybe if they could take out both my flyers, but I don't know how high a chance it is. But Lavinia off the Moorland Haunt will do it. Wow, what a match. We didn't quite get there. Really literally came down to that last card in our deck. But I think just Bob has such an incredible, just, I think, level of depth with this game. And I think it really shows for the sideboard. Siding it, so I think all of these got sided in. Maybe not the alarm bell, because he already has one, but just being able to have the Moorland Haunts, the best thing I could have teched if I was, I think, really, I think, to do it again would have been Vine Snare Hunter. Because that makes it a bit easier to OTK. All enemy creatures lose flying. So you slam this potentially the turn before. It's going to be really hard for them to recover. And it's a card I used to run in the OTK version of Nissa. But honestly, I had updated this deck specifically to deal with Garrick for the most part. Just having the Crows and Tuskers to trade early, Grudge Matches to trade early. You know, kind of a different suite of different things in the late game to go over the top. But I think Bob's expertise, not just with that deck, but I think just being able to think about the game at like a different level of, okay, what are the cards, like, how do I lose, right? And Sarah's probably worst matchups are going to be either like a hyper aggro deck, like Nahiri, I think could be tough. And then I think the way that you lose to Nissa, right, is like Nissa's too proactive, you can't really do anything. And specifically, I'm playing the one-turn kill build, which is pretty soft to Moorland Haunt, I think, as we saw. So tough to get to the semifinals and lose, but what a really great match, and I never mind losing to a teammate. So thank you guys for being here. I hope this was a really great match to see. We will definitely be covering the Mythic League number 3 finals, and that'll probably be coming to you guys next week. I'm hoping to get this video up this week. And either way, I hope you stick with it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you next time.